are. Oh, is that Cold Brew here? What's up, Cold Brew?
Yeah, I invited him.
Excellent, excellent. Well, glad to have him when he gets his mic working. We can greet him as well. Yeah, I think this is a pretty open kind of roundtable format here. So I'm mostly just kind of, if you guys have something you want to talk about, feel free to bring it up, and we can kind of use that as a topic of conversation. And I might bring up a couple other things, but first time doing this, we'll kind of just see where it goes. But Incredible John, maybe you could just tell us a little bit. Tell me, because I'm not as familiar with your work as some of the other people here, but like what you focus on mainly with your streams and stuff.
Yeah, so I actually, until recently, I didn't really stream a lot, but then I saw a lot of amazing people in the chat and it got more addicting to stream. So I've started streaming a lot more lately, but on YouTube, my main focus has been ever since the beginning in the end of March last year. I started just uploading episodic type of videos of my account where I got better as the episodes went. I never really went big into the whole guide thing on how to build who and what, but I did a few of those. But my main thing, which I do now as an example, is highlight other people's accounts. So I showed Hell Hades today on my channel, which was cool. So I try
awesome.
yeah, so I try to show cool accounts. Because obviously, if I put my crazy account series, which I call it, all into one, like if one account would have all those champions, it would be like I could never afford to have that many. Like it becomes repetitive on your main account.
Right.
So now I'm showcasing others, but I kind of want to hopefully get some help tonight to hopefully be able to 2-key Ultra Nightmare on my main account. Currently, timing is set correctly, I've heard, but. Yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult. I don't understand Clan Boss very much.
Well, absolutely. I mean, you have the right people here. I think between Napoleon and myself and Cold Brew, if he's around, we definitely can help your team out for sure.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Hey guys.
What's up, Cold Brew? How you doing, man?
Hi,
All
Cold
good,
Brew.
man. I'm streaming right now.
Same.
That's awesome.
Streamer buds. Let's squad watch. Oh shit, we can't. I'm not partnered.
I'm just recording this, so I just have my Clan Boss team working in the background, and then
What do you have running this time?
what do I?
think?
Oh, no, I'm sorry, not my Clan Boss team. I have my arena team. I'm just doing some arena runs right now.
All right.
My Clan Boss team is pretty mundane, my friend. It's very mundane. It's like it's just Valkyrie. Everybody's in a 1-1. I just pulled Sepulchre Sentinel though, so it's made everything so much better. I'm very happy with that.
Yeah, I got her too on the 2x.
Hi there, Efra.
Oh, so nice.
I'm slowly getting her masteries, and I'll get her there.
I just blew all my resources on it. I was like, I gotta get this one going. But it's been great. I moved. I got a new personal best of 44 million, so that felt pretty exciting.
That's awesome. That's a lot of damage.
That's
Did you say that
insane,
was
man.
on?
Nice.
I missed that. Sorry.
Oh, hey, Deadwood, if I may.
Yeah.
Solstein is with us. He's also a theory crafter. That's his hobby.
Oh, what's up, Soulstein?
Oh, hey.
Hi there.
Yeah. I work on multiple games. One of them is Raid. How you guys doing?
Doing very
Wonderful.
well so far.
Did you say you was working on Mashald? Or you were working on Mashald? Who was that a second ago?
I don't know that anybody's working on my show. I was talking about I just drew a Sepulchre Sentinel, and so I've been working on her.
Yeah.
Very happy with that result.
That sounds good. I hadn't really worked on her yet. I've had Mashald that was in my vault forever, and then they did the relaunch on them. And so I went ahead and I was like, okay, well.
Just doing this so that I don't waste my takedowns.
Let's see, player one told me about you, and then the other people. And I was like, oh, okay, I got the calculator up and going and everything. That's really cool. I mean, that's really good that you put the work into that, by the way.
Exactly.
Yeah, thanks.
That's amazing because, yeah, you got a lot of numbers to put in there and factor, and some people don't realize that. And, it's a lot of work. So. There's a lot of work.
Well, it was a part-time hobby for about a year, and then and then and now it's just out there for people to use, which is pretty good. But yeah, I mean, if someone can talk about the work it takes to do something like that, it's Napoleon Camembert. He put his out, and it's, I mean, that one he put out was incredibly accurate. It was more accurate than mine when he put that out. He kind of came up with the full the turn meter length. I don't know if you want to like.
I didn't do anything close to what you did in terms of tool creation.
The fact that
I did some good raid science. I'll take credit for the raid science, but I didn't do tool building.
I knew it was out there a long time ago. I told people, I was like, no, there's a 2-to-1. There's a 2-to-1. People said no, and I was like, okay, well,
The numbers were off a bit.
yeah, but it's pretty close though. I mean, it's really close.
I hope I'll be able to get far in this. I think this is the best
have you tried
best thing I got. Like the best team I got in any faction wars. Like I have a good team here.
I'm sorry, I was thinking of Bulwark. But
yeah,
there's passive, and that's an RNG thing for him.
Yeah, there's so many. The funny thing about the calculators, there's so many things that we could include, right? But it just takes the work to do it and track it and come up with the factoring to make it work. I mean, at some point, you're basically just replicating the game.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I don't know that. I don't
Deadwood,
know.
you just need a graphics team.
That's all I need.
You just need an art team, and then
I searched around to see if anyone had one of those modulator things. If they picked the game, and they already had the built-in part, but you had to put it on a different server and play it that way, kind of thing. But I guess no one got a hold of it. So,
yeah. I mean, I'll be honest though. I'm a little reluctant to. I would be reluctant to try to replicate the game because I don't feel like that would. I feel like that would take away from the fun of the game itself. Like, there is a part. I know this is kind of weird to say, but I feel like there is a part to the discovery of things. Just kind of like finding out how things work and not having it all laid out there for you. I mean, I don't know. Like, maybe Incredible John. Like, you're constantly going on different people's accounts, looking at all these amazing accounts. Would you say like one of the most fun parts is kind of figuring out how things work within that?
Yes, it's so much fun to experiment around with many different champions to figure out how they work together, like to get a good synergy. For example, like if I see, as an example, in Hell Hades' account today, he was using his Sinesha and his Platinum Marine team, and I was like, what are you using a Sinesha? Like, how does she work? So that was kind of fun to experiment around. And it's always fun to also see how crazy people can go with their accounts. Like, yeah, the 355 speed Arbiter, and I was just so amazed over what people are able to do within this game, and it's cool to explore the new champions as well.
Yeah,
see, that's what keeps us interested. Is that it's always been the challenge that keeps us interested. And oh my gosh, I can sit here and talk about that kind of area. And for us, it makes it very interesting. But when we lay it out, though, some of the people, or I can't say all of them, some of them get a hold of it, and they don't realize the hard work that goes into it. And sometimes some people, when they do have it laid out for them, like in the sense that we put it out there for them, then
that's smart, Kilimanjaro.
And they go ahead and put in the numbers. So it's like there's like this balance that we have to kind of obtain. It feels
absolutely
like
absolutely. And one of the things I always try to do is I try to keep an idea that my fun doesn't have to be your fun.
I want to glyph.
Like for me, I love the challenge of trying to push my team as far as I can. That's why the calculator was so great for me. I'm trying to min max what I have and what I have is a pretty standard clan boss team. It's nothing crazy. But, really trying to min-max as much as possible to pull out as much damage as possible. That, for me, is fun. But for some people, it's just having the team, like the possession of it.
I get so far here.
And I don't want to take away that from anybody. Because, what we all get out of the game is going to be a little bit different for each of us. But, putting in that work to get there, I think that's really what a lot of it comes down to anyway. Like, one of the things I think was really interesting was when Cold Brew kind of shared that simple man-eater run, basically the budget version where it's like one man-eater and one painkeeper as an unkillable composition. And I was shocked that you found that off of a Russian YouTuber. Is that right?
Yeah. That's how I found about that setup, through a Russian YouTuber. Just by accident, I think. I was just trying to find comps with one man-eater because I just got him off a 2x, I think it was.
Yeah.
And I just have one man-eater, and I was like, okay, what can I
She's
do
good,
with this guy? I thought there was a setup with one man-eater. Apparently, there wasn't in any of the English-speaking YouTubers.
Right.
And I kind of found it by accident on the Russian-speaking one, and then I just slowly watched the video to try to understand what's the deal with it. And yeah, I made my own video about it.
That's brilliant. I mean, I know like you didn't come up with the original idea itself, but the idea itself is so, I think, incredible. As far as like, I mean, we talk a lot about speed tuning these days, and I think that one might be the most remarkable out of all of them, simply because
so lucky.
There's no it's so hard to simulate that. You can't just put that in the calculator, for example, and come up with the appropriate tune. Like there's a lot that goes into that. I found it really really remarkable. And how hard was it for you to like translate it and like really figure out the necessary requirements for it?
Well, I just watched it very slowly, went through it I don't know, a dozen times before I even understood what was possible, and then I burned through, I don't know, 20 keys.
Wow.
trying to figure it
out.
That
is amazing. I've seen
and
some
how
cool
the
accounts with her
HP and
in the
defense
crazy account
needed to be
series
for every single champion. And I did my video, and still that video had a few errors in it. But it gave away the idea to everyone, so they could build their Ultra Nightmare team and get a good three key team.
Yeah,
there is even some 2 key setups with it.
I have close to, I want to say, about 1,000 people in my Discord right now, maybe like 800 or something. And that has to be, I think, the most commonly asked question is how to run the.
I can't believe I have everyone level 60 here, or almost.
Everybody wants to do it because it is so accessible. Like such a gift that you really gave to the community with that one there. It's really remarkable. I think a lot of people have found a lot of enjoyment and ability to actually be successful in Clan Boss because of that.
I'm still roughing it out, man. Still roughing it out.
Right, yeah. It's so easy because you just need, poisoners, one painkeeper, and the man-eater, the one man-eater.
I'll take that one man-eater.
So it used to be 3 man-eaters, then there was the 2 man-eaters.
I remember when I ran a one man-eater 3, or was it? I think it was a one man-eater 3 painkeeper version of it, and that was stupid. I hated it. Every time I would run it, I only ran it for a couple of weeks. It was right before they nerfed everything, but every time I ran it, I hated myself a little bit more. I'm like, this is just ridiculous. This is just cheating the system now. This isn't fun. But I mean, if we talk about cheating the system, I think Napoleon Camembert probably has done that better than anybody could have ever imagined with that new composition he's got. I don't know if you want to talk about that for a second.
Well, what is there to say? It's the Batman.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I love the name, by the way.
I can't believe I don't have a single
what was that? Sorry?
offense just quit.
I said,
Hey, Solstein, can you do me a favor? Just talk a little closer to your mic or a little louder.
is that better?
Moderately.
Moderately? You have to like turn it up or something, or turn it down, or what's going on with it?
Yeah, you're just a little soft. So if you just make sure to speak up a little bit more when you're talking, that'll probably solve the problem.
Is that better?
Much better. Much better.
It was the sensitivity. I had to fix the sensitivity on it.
There you go.
Yeah. Thank you.
Did you have a question for Napoleon with his or a comment about the calculator or his unkillable team?
I heard somebody ask something.
Well, I was actually going to say something
this will
more
crack
ask
into
about
crit
it.
rate
So
at
what's the
third
unkillable
time?
team again? I hadn't seen it. I'm sorry. I'm kind of behind time sometimes.
All right, well, I can update. So what happened last week, let's see, I guess around this time last week, I was kind of putting together the first Seeker-based 2-to-1 team.
But I'm muting
so
when
since
I'm
Seeker
talking to
has
you
this
guys.
extra turn when he does his turn meter boost, he's kind of in a unique position to enable a 2-to-1 setup, just to say, taking 2 turns per clan boss turn. And so we kind of worked it out around this time last week, with Nixar helping out to figure out
I
the
don't know why I'm
optimal
coughing
speeds.
so much.
And I just wanted to work it out because I figured this might help me get a 1 key. My personal best had been 56 million with a pretty standard, I think it was 57 million with a pretty standard Unkillable setup with Santa and Warcaster or Rosh card. And I put this thing together. The first version
This can't
was
take many silver
Santa
because
and Warcaster
I need this for clan boss.
the Unkillable. And each of them have 4-turn cooldowns, right? So when you're 2-to-1, they can just alternate each clan boss turn.
Welcome to the game,
making your turn unkillable.
Afra-Can. Hopefully you chose
so you're unkillable every single clan boss turn.
Kale as a starter.
Seeker gives you the speed you need. And then
initially
I put in
can help
Martyr
you
and
maybe
Draco.
later.
And I did 83 million on my first full hit. And I was like, wow, 57 to 83 is a pretty big improvement. And I kind of looked around at the best hits I'd seen, and I'm in the Ancient Order where Sadurm, I think he was the top key holder for quite a while with something like 85 million. And I was like, shit, I gotta try to push this, So later in the week, I replaced Martyr with Krutraxa, and ended up breaking 100 million. Only to be passed by Murder Inc., of course.
Well, yeah,
but I was happy.
That was amazing.
Well,
It was amazing.
nobody can take away from you that you were the first person who reached it. So
yeah. Exactly, you're number 1 in that one for sure.
Yeah. And the record was with the Batman
also
setup
good.
still.
Yeah,
that is the setup at the moment.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, you just set a trend.
Seeker.
Trendsetter right here.
Have you challenged on any rares per se on UNM for the highest hitters without CA and Unkillable?
I don't know what the highest is without counterattack or Unkillable is. Definitely, I don't know. I mean, it's got to be pretty high though at this point.
We recently saw, so I don't know about without counterattack, but we saw a setup in the Illuminati channel without Valk or Unkillable, which I think is a pretty meaningful condition, right? I think every 1 key I had seen up until a couple days ago was involving Valk or Unkillable.
Yes,
and,
that's true.
Who was it that did that 1 key?
I think it was Rust, right?
Yeah, it was Rust. That's right.
Yeah, I have to tell you guys, it's been awesome. Like, the calculators brought in so much more people trying things. I constantly am getting people saying, "Look, I created a 2-1 using Lysandra, moving her to a 8-3." Or I had somebody today message me about using double Maneater in an Unkillable in a 2-1 composition, and the possibilities for this, I think we're just kind of starting to scratch the surface of what really is out there and available. Actually, I was wondering if anybody, if any of you guys have any thoughts. Maybe we'll start with Cold Brew or Incredible John, about what you think the next kind of meta creation could be within this.
Yeah, within the I think the new meta will be there are so many possibilities when it comes to building a team towards clan boss, because there are so many combinations. It's very I am not knowledgeable enough to really think about the meta, but I think continuing to try and break the game with I actually don't know. I have no idea what the new thing could be or what's going to happen. I'm very unknowledgeable.
Yeah, I think the next meta shift is gonna be once a new mechanic is released, because I think 100 million is like the ceiling right now. I don't know, man.
Have a
I
nice
feel
one,
like
Kilimanjaro. Thank you for being here.
as Pyrum said, that the counterattack is great, but they want to have an additional mechanics in the game that players can use. And if they release something else like poison sensitivity was, like a new mechanic release, yeah. So if something else comes up that's new, that might break the meta, you know, and give you like a 110, 120 million team.
That'd be great. I think we
Yeah.
all would welcome that. A different something new, a different kind of mechanic to break up what we're doing right now. Do you have any thoughts of what like that might be? Cold Brew?
Nothing comes to mind.
Because
they haven't even given us a hint since then.
They could potentially get like a new, because we have Martyr and Valkyrie, of course, but they could potentially make a Void counterattack legendary, which would give counterattack, a version of counterattack which also boosts either like the attack of the attacker or like something, which does more than counterattack as a buff, like a new kind of buff. Could kind of work if they made a Void counterattacker. I think they'd probably want to make them a little bit more special than a Martyr and a Valkyrie. Not that those are bad, obviously.
Right.
I got two mechanics I'd like to see more of. Well, one is maybe not the most interesting. I mean, I think that when they announced the poison sensitivity,
Kilimanjaro, I was like, okay, you have to go.
25 or 50% version in addition to the 25% version.
Yes,
so I think that. Like, yeah, whenever they release that champion with the 25 with the 50% version, you know, that'll be a whole lot more relevant because right now with what's her name, the Frozen Banshee.
Yeah.
You know, it's like giving up that debuff slot for the 25% is like maybe worth it, but it's really not that big a deal. But the 50% would be a way bigger deal.
It's a very good point. Very good.
And the other thing I'd like to see is better ally protection champions. And I've been thinking this ever since I saw Scratch do his 82 turn 1 key comp. Because it was just mind blowing to me that you could survive that long. And
is everybody familiar with that? With the Scratch, AK-47 clan boss run?
I have not seen it, but I've seen the damage. I have not seen it.
So before I think before we ever came up with the 2-1 ratio, Scratch had released a clan boss run where he did over 80 million damage. I think it was with a Krisk and a Valkyrie, and Tyrant. He was basically using double ally protection to survive for incredible lengths, and was able to 1-key Ultra Nightmare without an Unkillable setup. And I think that was one of the first times we'd seen that. It was certainly mind-blowing for a lot of us that are that talk about this stuff regularly, like me and Napoleon Murder. And so I know that's kind of what you're referring to. I like that idea of an extra ally protection champion.
Yeah, because I think if you don't have Krisk, you can't hope to construct such an elite composition like that's going to go past 50 turns. You know, and having a Void Legendary being the path to kind of the elite ally protection, you know, highly durable clan boss setups. That's just really narrow, and so I think they need more viable ally protection champions. And the leaked Urost the Soul Cage, the leaked Battle Pass champion. I mean, that would be
interesting.
Yeah, that would be the right direction because he looks pretty good. Yeah.
How much you want to bet that they bring up new mechanics when they bring out the new CV?
When they bring out the new what?
The new boss. The new clan boss.
Oh, well.
They do the rework on that. They're still doing the rework.
One can hope. I think we're all in agreement that the more new stuff, the better. So whether that's mechanics or clan bosses, I think that would be pretty remarkable. Pretty enticing for all of us, honestly. But yeah, you know, one thing I've been actually wondering. I don't know that it would be a new meta per se, but definitely something I've been looking at just in the clan boss arena alone is the the defensive mastery that lets you counterattack when you get when somebody gets stunned. And I know typically we all try to block the stun, and I'm wondering if really the optimal way is not to allow ourselves to get stunned and go ahead and get maybe that bonus to counterattacking a little bit. I don't know what you guys. This is kind of more of a personal query of my own, but I don't know what you guys think about that as a theory.
So are you talking about like a anti-stun passive thing going on, or
so
I mean, not including the defensive tree?
No, I was including the defensive tree is kind of what I was talking about. I have Sepulchre Sentinel, so I block the stun now.
Doesn't Ultimate Gaelic have something like that where he shakes off stun?
I think so. I know, like, I mean, you know, like
run the boots.
Molly. Yes, Molly does. There's a few champions that have effects, or a Foley, right? Foley, that's what you said.
Yeah.
Yeah, Foley has
a remove stun.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, so when you're fighting the clan boss, you know, I know on Void, when he does his stun, it can be resisted, as well as pretty much anything else that can be resisted on there. But the thing is when he changes the affinity and he does a stun attack, isn't the stun attack unavoidable?
The stun's never avoidable. You can block the debuff. So if you block the debuff, then it doesn't happen. And you can cleanse it after it happens. But I don't know that affinity doesn't really have any impact on that. I guess my question is that the rest of your champions, it seems like currently the meta is to have everybody in the defensive tree. That allows you to be a little tankier, lets you retaliate a little bit more often, and helps you mitigate more damage. The trade-off is, I was wondering, is because, like, I asked because I have Sepulchre Sentinel, but people do this with, you know, Grizzled Jarl or Mausoleum Mage or whoever. If you can block the debuff, you usually block the stun. But I'm wondering if we shouldn't allow the stun to happen, because that gives your allies like a 25% chance of counterattacking off the stun when normally no one would be able to counterattack. And I was just kind of wondering if you guys think that's a solid way to go or not. Something to consider.
Good question. Yeah.
All right.
I was just someone in I was just going to say that someone in my chat said that Norog, he shakes off stun, freeze, and sleep, which could be cool.
Well, okay, all right. So I play a speed comp because I don't have a CA or Unkillable or any of that, and
you cut that.
FYI, Napoleon's team record is in Grandmaster Hall.
And I found out my team was doing, but that was loud. And I found out my team was starting to do better once I put them all on defensive and retribution. And they did a heck of a lot better because it's a poor man's counterattack, basically.
Right.
So I can see what you're saying, and I've been working on that. And I want to stay on the retribution tree with the stun. To have a dedicated stun attack, yeah, and it seems to work pretty good, but that's just me playing like a poor man's CA team on UNF.
Actually, to what you were saying, Deadwood, there's an Unkillable comp that actually runs like that. The Rosh card Skull Crusher combo.
Sure.
It's set up to where the Skull Crusher eats the stun, but since he's on 4/3, it
I've no one geared, man.
Down. Most people run Retribution with that just because of the stun itself triggering more attacks.
Right.
It's Excellent. Actually in play right now, though.
Okay.
Wait.
All right.
Okay, I got a question then about the Skull Crusher, and isn't his passive happen after the fact, not before the fact?
He still gets stunned. So the passive ability of his to remove the stun happens afterwards. So it still triggers those defensive masteries.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is pretty awesome. Actually, I have a question just in general, because this is I feel pretty confident in Clan Boss, but since we have so many excellent people here, I was hoping maybe you guys could talk a little bit. Maybe I don't know, maybe I don't know. I guess Incredible John, you just started working with. You were just working with. What's his name? Hell Hades account.
Yeah.
And you had mentioned the arena. And I don't know if you have any thoughts about it at all, or if there's anywhere you want to take that general topic of the arena. But that's
I love
an area
arena.
of the
That's my
game.
favorite system.
Oh, beautiful! Please talk for a little bit about that.
Yeah. Should I talk about what I experienced today on his team? Probably.
Why
Right?
don't I mean?
Or in
Yeah,
general.
we can start there, wherever you
Yeah.
feel comfortable with.
Yeah. So, well, I can say what I like about the arena, or what I like to do, and I think it's probably a pretty standard setup. Because in my account takeovers, which I'm currently doing, I always prefer doing arena or trying to improve people's arena teams. Like, if they ask me for clan boss, I may end up doing arena. Because I really enjoy arena. So what I always try to do is, first of all, see who is the speed buffer of them, whether it's an apothecary or even a Siphi or an arbiter. Obviously, what's important there is to make those go first, and then just build a cool synergy around it to where you have someone either giving you attack, making you into debuffs, buffing your attack, or decreasing the enemy's defense and provoking them. And that's kind of what happened today on Hell Hades account. Because I was using an arbiter, then it was a Sinesha, a skull crown, I think it was a skull crown, and then the fourth champion was who was the fourth champion again? I will give me 1 minute, how like 10 seconds. I will figure out who the heck that
Sure.
champion
Pretty
was.
sure Hell Hades.
Yeah.
Brought either a
Probably
long hair or
Lanicus is my guess.
Yeah, Lanicus, that's the name. That's the name.
Lanicus,
Yeah,
for sure.
obviously, yeah. So yeah, essentially, what's kind of cool about that team is that you first of all buff your defense, and you use Lanicus to team KO the enemy reviver, and then it's very easy from there, because then people are immobilized to revive themselves, and then it's essentially a victory if you obviously survive. But sometimes it's difficult if there's like a, I don't know. I've met some very strong torments out there, which actually does do good damage. So, but yeah, it's kind of just to find a way to build your team. There are so many possibilities in arena itself. You have so many options, but one thing is very clear nowadays is that speed is the best way to go about it for now, at least.
That was actually something that stuck out when you were talking to me. It looks like did we lose Cold Brew along the way?
Yeah, it's 1:30 a.m. where he's at.
Well, that's
Yeah,
fair.
it's
I would've
12:30
asked him
a.m.
some more
here.
questions.
That's fine.
Well, all right.
12:30 here.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, folks. We'll try not to keep this too long. But you actually said something that piqued my interest when you talked about you try to find that speed lead to start. And I thought that was kind of interesting. Is that pretty much always how you think it should be done? Like, get the fastest champion first and then build your team from there? Or is there still an option to go with like a slower, tankier type of arena team?
I think with the, because many people have seen how good the immunity set is nowadays, so technically a tanky team does work if you would want to use immunity sets, because then you could continue to have a lot of accuracy, a lot of crit damage, a lot of attack. You don't even have to use speed boots at that point. You could just use attack boots. If you have, as long as you have an immunity set and you don't face like an enemy Madam Series or someone who is able to remove the buffs, I think you'd honestly be able to do very fine by, for example, focusing, I don't know, on just making everyone very tanky. I think that team is still viable, but it's not what people do, because there are so many people in the arena, either with a Ray removing buffs or a Madam Series. So many people are just going the safe way, which is a speed setup. So I always, every single time, no matter who I'm on, whether on any takeover, I always focus the most speed on the speed giver / turn meter booster. Whether it's a bronze account with an apothecary or if it's a platinum account with an arbiter, always go for speed first to then go to the second thing. Speed buffer first, then either buffer or debuffer of enemies, buffer of yourself,
Sure.
and then nuke being the slowest, obviously. It's Trunda as an example. She's a cool nuke.
Cool. That makes a lot of sense. I don't know who else here is a big arena person. Napoleon, is that something that you do a lot? What did you say?
I like arena.
Oh, fantastic.
My problem is I'm US East, and I also have a toddler. So, not sleeping in the middle of the night isn't really a viable option for me.
Napoleon, 1 second. Hey, what the PHUOC? Can you put headphones in or turn down your mic? We're getting a little echo.
That's farting cow.
Hey, come on, farting cow. If you're gonna fart, that's okay, but...
You're right, Kilimanjaro. I really should do that.
Napoleon,
I'm too scared to sacrifice things, but I need to do it.
Oh, just that I do like arena, but I haven't finished the week in plat since before they made the rewards good.
That's a nice setup, the
I don't stay up. I can't really stay up.
I like that.
Right.
Kidding.
I'm always tanky, and when I fight the speed teams, it's pretty much spin, 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 splat.
Alright, we got some pretty bad.
Hey, Rajiv, can you turn your mic off, brother?
You can just mute him if they're not able to answer right away.
Done. Muted. All right, cool. Excellent.
I can still hear it.
Oh, he's only muted for you.
Oh. Well, I'm recording, so...
There we go.
I don't
muted.
Alright.
That was a thick Winston right there.
I'm sorry, I'm going to go back a little bit. Napoleon, can you talk again? I missed 90% of what you were saying.
Oh, I'm just a bitter U.S. East young parent who can't be in plat because of the 4 a.m. reset on Mondays for me.
That's fair.
I gotta wake up and take care of my toddler at 6:30, and it's just not gonna happen. But I do like arena.
The consolation prize is that platinum really isn't worth it, so you're not really missing a lot. Yeah. I don't think platinum is worth it, all the effort. So, yeah, just my opinion.
I haven't heard anything to make me think otherwise myself. Hey, farting cows! I don't know if you want to chime in. I'd love to include you in the conversation. If you have any opinions on arena, though, love to hear it. I mean, you can just rip a big fart too. That's an appropriate response, I feel.
For those who don't know, he's also a YouTuber.
Yeah, he's been
just
doing this for a little bit. I've definitely seen a couple of his videos.
Rena J.
Ahead of time as
well. I liked it if you're born in 1995.
Running through a lot of my personal questions. How do you guys feel about the 3-on-3? Is anybody in the testing group for that?
I'm not, unfortunately. I don't really want to be, so it's not really unfortunately, but...
One of our grandmasters is good guy John, but he's in Australia, and they called him into work early, so he was upset about missing this, but hopefully we'll see him next time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, good guy Glenn, I think you mean, right?
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah. He's a cool guy.
He's a big arena guy, too. He made it up to first place, but the problem in Platinum is staying there. And sometimes those guys, Cartman's guys, they keep hitting him and keeping his score inflated.
Yeah. There's some serious problems with it right now, obviously. But I've been getting more enjoyment out of it. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, I do like the change to where you can find people alongside your rank instead of points, because at some points there was you couldn't find any enemies. So it was kind of broken. So at least they improved that to where you can face people not necessarily close to your arena points, but just close to your rank, which was a cool update they did.
Yeah, I don't think I found them anywhere.
They're making changes. It's just a little slower than I think a lot of people want, but definitely they seem to be making adjustments to it, which is good. For sure.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Well, hey, I got a kind of an off the wall question. I was trying to think of things to talk about today. First time doing this, so want to keep it.
You're doing a good job.
But wondering, John, and I'll kind of go around the horn with this. who is your favorite streamer outside of yourself?
This is going to sound kind of hypocritical, but I don't really watch this game. I just play it. So I don't really watch any Raid Shadow Legends YouTubers or streamers. I've never seen Hell Hades accounts. It was kind of cool to see that today. I actually watch a streamer who plays Minecraft because I'm 12. Not kidding. Minecraft is for everyone, man. So yeah, I'm watching someone called Captain Sparkle, so it's kind of cool. That's the only streamer I really watch. Otherwise, I just watch TV shows and movies and stuff.
Oh,
But yeah, that's why I'm so bad at Raid Shadow Legends, because I don't watch any guides from any streamers and stuff. But that's why I need your guys' help later.
I only like YouTubers on camp.
Yeah.
That's reasonable. That's where all the best ones are. So I think that's obviously the case.
Yes. I feel kind of bad, but out of all the games I played probably 20 different games on my YouTube channel. I've over 2,000 videos. Out of all of those games, I've really never watched a content creator make videos of those games, any of them. I'm just like, what I play is what I play, and what I watch is what I watch. Because I don't play Minecraft, but I watch it. And I play Raid Shadow Legends, and I don't watch Raid Shadow Legends, so yeah.
That'd be a good question, Deadwood. What's everybody's other favorite game?
Out of mobile, it's Odes to Heroes for me. I really enjoy Odes to Heroes. It's a gacha game. I love it though. It's like, if you guys have heard about Idle Heroes, it's essentially Idle Heroes, except it's like a horizontal game, if you could call it that. Like it's not a widescreen. It's the other way around game.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I really they're doing cool updates to it, and it's very free to play friendly. So it's something I play a lot. Like I play many games on my phone.
You seem like you're very eclectic in your gaming choices. You kind of branch out a wide range.
Yeah.
Try different things. That's good though.
Yeah, I only upload Raid Shadow Legends though, even though I'm playing many more games. But that Raid Shadow Legends it's a cool, like the graphics. Like, let's be honest with the plarium play. Like when you use this game on max quality and everything, it really looks fantastic. You almost can't believe it's a mobile game if you're playing with plarium play and stuff. Like it's based from mobile, so they've done it's a very well polished game.
I agree completely. That's what kept me in it for so long. What about you, Solstheim? Do you have any?
That's awesome.
Do you have a favorite YouTuber that you follow, or is there another game that you particularly love to watch or play? I should say.
Well, let's see. I don't know. I'm 46 years old. I've been in it since the beginning, so there you go.
All right.
And as far as the I do FPS games. I grew up into the Doom, Wolfenstein Doom, that whole thing, the Gold Box games,
Sure.
all that. And I don't know. I tried mobile games, and I really prefer PC games or console games. Some of the EOS games, what was Elder Scrolls Online kind of games.
Sure.
And my thing is, lately I've been into the Blizzard company, so I have a lot of stuff from them that I use on that. And as far as the FPS, I don't know. I did some testing here for the newer Doom stuff that I wasn't supposed to talk about, but and they're fun. I mean, they're really fun. And like I said, I grew up on FPS. My son, he's in his 20s, so he plays. He's kind of carrying on the torch. He's doing Minecraft, and he's doing YouTube on Minecraft, which is why I was asking you, John, who the YouTuber might be, because he does that. And
yeah, Captain Sparkles is a big one, so he may have heard about him probably.
Yeah, and he was doing that a lot. And Magic the Gathering. I'm a prior Invite Pro Tour person too. So.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, when I was prior Invite Pro Tour, it was in the 90s, So, and that game came out in the '93, and not a lot of people know. I asked a lot of people, and they don't know where the actual creator of that game came from. And the actual creator of Wizards of the Coast came from actual TSR. Before TSR went out of business, was bought by Wizards of the Coast. He was a guy who worked for
I've not
TSR.
heard about these games, by
And
the
it's
way.
funny because he went out and bought the company back, and then kept D&D going, but at the same time had
Dungeons and
MTG
Dragons.
going.
I've heard about that.
MTG
Never
came out
played it.
'92, and so that game was pushed really. I mean, it was the first playable. What was it? The first playable collectible game there was as far as cards go. And that thing, man, I spent bukus of money of it. I was in the military at that time, active, so I spent a lot of money into that game.
Yeah.
And
Magic the Gathering's incredibly popular.
They have a and they
Magic the
have
Gathering. I'm
Magic the
stupid.
Gathering Arena, which
I'm small brain
is
at
the
night,
newer one that
guys.
came out. But they had the Magic the Gathering, what was that called, Duelist or something or whatever.
Yeah,
But
Duelist.
yeah, and the only thing that upset me about that platform was the fact that
Is it really expensive?
they ended it.
Yeah, isn't that
and we
based on
spent money
cards,
into
and
it,
now
and then
there's
they
like
gave the cards
a
out for free. It's
game
like,
out of
oh,
it, but it
everyone can play
started
it
with
now.
cards.
So it didn't carry on. So I had an issue with that. And so now I'm kind of playing Magic the Gathering Arena. I do like the way they have that set up, but I'm doing it more as a free to play rather than a spend,
Okay.
Gotcha.
And they do actually, for that game, it's actually it's balanced. I like it. It's pretty balanced.
Nice.
That's good.
Nice.
I want to.
That's just me though. Anyways,
Yeah.
What about you? You're on the soapbox. Get to talking, boy.
Oh well. I guess for myself.
I didn't know that. It's like Pokemon cards in a while, right? Or
basically,
Pokemon
this is the only mobile game I
purchase
play.
them and they're expensive.
I played a little Star Wars
something.
Galaxy Heroes when that came out. I was playing what do you call it? Clash of Clans when that was at its height for a little bit too. I never got like super into. I've never been as into a game as I've been in this one by far, especially for like a video game of some sort.
Same here.
But this game, I mean, I really gotten into the mechanics of it. I love the different champions and their abilities and the way they interact and like.
If
I mean, like for me, I think the best part about this game is the fact that I've been playing for about a year, a little over a year now.
I have everything,
and
man.
The public knowledge of the champions changes every single month. Like I just did a video I think last week, and I highlighted Nazana, and I cannot tell you how many people I've had that've been like, I didn't know Nazana was this good, because you know what? I didn't know Nazana was that good.
I really enjoyed that when I was younger.
And she's not amazing by any chance, but the fact that she's useful in any frame of mind was something that I hadn't realized. And working on some of these free-to-play type of rare-centric compositions, you get to realize how good a lot of these champions are built. Plarium did actually a very good job in like constructing these so that they have unique niches and they're good at various parts of the game so that they're not all the same, like stuff like that. I actually really enjoying that part of it.
Well, I played rarely, but it's fun.
When I was first getting into it, I paid a lot of attention.
That's a cool
to
description,
Hades, particularly.
I like that.
I thought his videos are super informative and really and just chock full of information. Like everything I know about Clan Boss, I started by watching his stuff, and then Murder Inc. obviously is taken. Oh yeah, completely. Like I used to watch Hell Hades videos, almost religiously. Like I just watch him every week because you watch how he gears the teams that he's taking over. You watch his guides on how to make your Clan Boss teams better. And maybe it's not perfect for what you're doing, but the concepts and the ideas that he's talking about in there really apply. The fact that you want to really stack defense, you want to tune your team, like those are all basic concepts to Clan Boss creation now. And they're as true as when he did those videos a year ago as they are today. And obviously individual champions have differences, but like the stuff he's talking about is really pertinent to what we do. And then Murder Inc. is obviously showing you the end game part of this, like the next level, like how to really push your team. Which I'm starting to get into that end game phase of this. I'm really enjoying watching some of that and like trying to figure out how do I maximize an already good team and really take it to the next level. But I honestly, I really enjoy a lot of these YouTubers. I really enjoy watching Ash. I just find him really enjoyable to watch on TV. And so like, you know, he's not, you know, he's not covering anything new. He's not breaking ground on anything. I just enjoy his personality. You know, it's the same thing with a lot of these guys. Like I just enjoyed a lot of them. You know, Incredible John, for example, Cold Brew. Like the community is so cool, and the people are so nice, and it really comes across in their videos. And that for me has been really enjoyable. I just did something with Kobe and Kobe86J, and he's a super awesome guy. I love his energy.
He's a nice guy. I like him.
Yeah, really nice guy, really great energy. So like we really vibe on that level.
We're kind of planning a charity, by the way, me and him.
Yeah, so. I'm very excited about that. Yeah, I'll talk about that in a second.
If you guys can get him on camp, let me know.
Sure, I can invite him. He's a cool guy.
Absolutely. Bionic, I did something with him recently too. Like, he's doing all free to play. So everybody brings a little something to the table, and I really enjoy. I've really just enjoyed watching them. But outside of this, I play Dungeons and Dragons. That's like my other passion.
Ah, good answer.
But is that for PC also? Because I've only seen it not on PC. Is that a PC game too?
No, it's a tabletop. It's a real life in person kind of game.
Okay, I see. Yeah, that's what I've seen.
Currently, I'm playing over Discord, so not as in person as it has been. But I love that. I'm really excited they have a new version coming out. It's fun. You know, it's role playing.
It's like about
you got me there, Dad.
Dungeons and Dragons. Do you make up your own story?
Sorry, say that again, John.
Do you make up your own story? Like, does the game come out with stories and then you play like as a dungeon master and then you tell that story, or do you come up with it yourself? Because I've never understood the game to where you have to roll this and that to get this and that done. Like, how do you choose which moves and all that?
It is both. It is a game where they print and publish stories that you can run. At the same time, you can create your own stories and run those. And it's sort of a cooperative storytelling game where I think when it's done the best, you have a dungeon master who is willing to present a story and options. And then the players that are playing with them make choices. And a really well done game, really good one. The dungeon master will allow those choices to take the story into different ways. And so it's very fun because nothing's while the person running it may have a template or a plan of how things should work. The details are totally up to the players themselves, and
it sounds so much
the
fun.
End result may be too. It's kind of a choose your own adventure book, but
it is awesome. It is awesome, John. You need a couple really good friends and give it a shot.
Yeah, I need to find a couple.
Mm-hmm.
Kidding.
It's a great game. I played this one all my childhood as well.
Yeah.
Napoleon, I was wondering what kind of stuff do you like to do besides Raid? What are your games of choice?
This is gonna sound a little repetitive, but oddly enough, the two games I've played in the last week besides Raid are Magic the Gathering Arena and Dungeons and Dragons. I play in a campaign Sunday mornings, and I'm a dungeon master Sunday evenings.
Wow! Oh, so your Sunday is your D&D day.
Someone to be a dungeon master.
That's awesome.
I just wanted to ask a question for you guys.
Sure.
I'm not the interviewer really, but I'm kind of curious. Which was the first online game you ever played?
Diablo.
Diablo was the first
one. Diablo was the best.
It can also be from browser games, as an example. Just any game, any online game. Counter-Strike. Okay.
Yes, that was my call game. I'd stay up till 3 in the morning, 5 in the morning playing Counter-Strike.
Yeah. And if I may, guys, Diablo and Diablo 2 are the only Diablos. Sorry.
Yeah,
I agree.
I haven't played Diablo 3.
Wait, you're the server controller. Okay, yeah, all right.
My first game was Dragon Fable.
Does anybody know it?
Dragon Fables? I don't think I've even heard of that.
Dragon Fable. It's a browser game. It's a 2.5D. I think you called it a 2.5D game. It's like it's like just this animated anime kind of game. Like it's a very old game. I remember I once had I once had an account and my password was like 2007 something 2007, and I felt I was a kid back then, so I was like, oh, that's a cool password. Nobody will guess that. And it was the date I created the account. So I just had it in 2007.
So John, what bank do you use, and what's their URL?
Okay, I'm kidding. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm fortunately a little bit smarter now. Now it's 2020 X 2020, so I've included an X now. So yeah, no.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. Mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, mix it up a little bit.
Have you guys heard of Dransic?
I have.
Did someone knows?
Oh, you play Dragon Fable? That's awesome.
Or
Night Online also. I love that. I think, if I remember.
On.
And World of Warcraft, I played a little bit.
Wow. I don't even know of that one.
Yeah, that was probably 20 years ago.
20 years ago. Okay. What about the first game? Like it could be Tetris. Like any game out of like out of a monitor, not like a physical cardboard game.
Homeworld.
Home Run. Like it could be in an arcade.
No. Homeworld.
Homeworld. Oh.
Yeah.
I've never heard about that.
Oh man, it's awesome.
Yeah, sounds fun. I'm a little bit too young to have grown up playing in the arcades, unfortunately. I'm 25, so I lack a few years.
You're a baby. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Yes, exactly.
You'll be our age before too long. Don't sweat it.
Yeah. Give me a while. I'll get there.
I remember when Sega Genesis first came out, and I got one of those, and
oh yeah,
I played. I think my dad got me Fantasy Zone. That was a hell of a game. I couldn't pass the first level. Yeah.
Abacab.
What did you call it? Abacab.
Abacab.
Huh.
I don't know what that is.
That was the code of Mortal Kombat.
Oh.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah. The first console I ever had was a PlayStation 1, so that's I don't know if that's too old of a console or not, but that's the first one. So
you missed the golden age, my friend. No, I can't.
Yeah.
Nintendo.
The golden age of gaming.
What was Diablo? Diablo. I mean, I know what Diablo is. Don't hit me on that one, okay? Because Blizzard. When was the first Diablo internet game? That was 90.
Sega Genesis.
4?
These names are familiar, but I can't point them out.
Yeah, I want to say 5 or 6.
Because I want to say...
I needed this to perk into speed so you can see my bad luck.
Was it World of Warcraft? Not World of Warcraft. Warcraft. And then Red Alert, I think.
Command and Conquer.
Yeah, Command and Conquer.
Yeah.
I've heard about that. I used to play a game called Conquer Online a lot. And always when I searched for it, like Command and Conquer came before it in the search results. And I was like, oh, freaking Command and Conquer, I don't want you, I want Conquer Online. So it was always in the search results above Conquer Online, and I was like, okay. That's why I know that game.
That could have definitely and most easily have been a mobile game back in the 90s if we would have had the technology for that.
Maybe there's a rip-off now.
I'm sure there is.
Probably a rip-off on the App Store, like Command and Victory, something like that.
Well, they've remastered a lot of the Command and Conquer games. They've re-released them in 1080p and all that.
So real quick, we've been in this for about an hour now. I know people are wanting to go to sleep and peace out in a minute. I thought before we do that though, we could, because I know Incredible John was talking about wanting to update his clan boss team.
Yes.
I thought that, especially since I got Napoleon here with me, we could take a quick look at your team and kind of see what you're working with and maybe give you some at least brief advice on it.
Sure.
And then we can talk maybe later about doing some more with it if that's something you want to do.
Yeah, I definitely am hoping that we can make something happen. I'm currently live streaming this on my Twitch and or the server, so you guys can see there if you want. And yeah, so currently I actually...
Oh, hey, actually, you say you're...
I'm streaming on Twitch, yeah.
Do you want you want to share your screen here?
I am sharing my screen on the Discord server also.
Well, let me change my screen so I can see what
multitasking for the win.
Well,
I'm also recording just in case I want to keep this for YouTube. My PC is all over the place.
2 monitors helps.
What did you say?
I said 2 monitors helps.
Yeah, I only have one. I need to get a secondary one.
Deadwood offered a secondary one.
So
Yeah.
Incredible, I see that correctly. You've got Skull Crusher, you've got Tower, Frozen Banshee, Aethar, and Rosin. Is that right?
Yes, that's the team. And it should be speed. Good guy Glenn was actually so kind to go on my account and speed tune, but I still have issues. Like I just have issues figuring out how to time where I can go from manual to auto, and which stats to push for, which gear to get. So but that's the team. So I suppose I can go out and I suppose start with the leader, which is this guy. Skull Crusher is currently rocking 243 speed, quite a good amount of crit damage. And his health is honestly fine and defense is fine. Is he okay built, or should I improve something else? I could improve whatever else.
Well, you're working with Unkillable team, right?
Yeah. I believe
that's the idea here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'll be honest. Napoleon's going to be a lot more assistance than I am for this.
Ooh, echo.
Yeah, that echo is not pleasant. Let's see if I can't.
Who's echoing?
I don't know.
The announcer, maybe? I don't know.
Echo. Kidding.
We're back off. Okay, cool. So, so I am not the expert when it comes to unkillable comps. That is not my strong suit. That said, if you have the speeds and timing right, then that's wonderful. What you really want to focus on then is just maximizing your damage as much as possible within that time frame, I think.
Yeah, because I heard Skull Crusher should be the lowest health or something, so that the boss can target him or something. But I'm not that great. I don't know much about clan boss in general.
Right. Well, yeah, you have that right. The clan boss typically targets the leader, and then if it's not an affinity boss, if it's void, they'll target the leader. Unless, especially if there's certain buffs they don't have. So they try to avoid anybody that has increased defense. They avoid anybody that has counterattack. So if your leader doesn't have those, which Skull Crusher would be that case, then typically Skull Crusher will get targeted.
Yeah, and he's also the leader, which should help.
But if for any reason like there's an option of who to target, they will go for the person with the lowest HP because they want to try and kill somebody. And so that's why Skull Crusher you don't want them to have 0 HP, but you want them to be low. One thing like you can definitely do, and like I think this is a pretty standard improvement for any clan boss team as you start working on doing more damage, is improve your crit rate.
Crit rate, okay.
Yeah, your crit rate really factors a lot as in how hard you're going to hit.
31% rate is nothing on this guy, so I could try and find some crit rate gloves on him.
You have crit damage gloves, which is fine if you can crit, but you're only critting 30% of the time. So you're better off, even with the lower crit damage, you're better off with if you can get your crit rate closer to 100%. Even if the crit damage isn't the same, it's going to make for a much better run for you.
Problem, I suppose, is with speed tuning, because I have to find gloves, which gives exactly 5 speed. Authorized speed tuning is messed up.
Or you have to adjust somewhere else. That's always the trade-off. Always the trade-off.
Okay.
Well, I mean, are those speed boots you have on right now?
They are in fact speed boots, yeah.
So simple thing to do. If you have 6-star speed boots, you can put those in, and then you can put crit damage gloves with no speed on them.
Oh yeah, crit rate. But I do have some crit rate gloves here, 50%.
Yeah.
But I don't think I have any available speed boots, which gives 6-star speed boots, which isn't being used on someone else important. I suppose. Well, Roshard is already speed tuned, so I can't really take those off him.
You have 2 Roshards?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Plethora of riches you have.
What do you mean? What did you say?
You have an excess of riches, my friend.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I don't have a lot of
rush shards, so.
Oh, you don't? I don't really have a lot of legendaries in general. Like, I have most of the fused ones. I have the Skull Lord Vargral. I have the Killian, the Lucky. I believe Raisin was fused. I got the card guy. But yeah, I for some reason got a couple of rush shards. So I was actually originally planning on using those two, but there was something wrong about the boss targeting, or there was something wrong with it, so it didn't really work as it was going to. So yeah, the team ended up being changed. But
you have to be careful with. Oh, sorry. Go on, Napoleon.
Can you show the full roster, like the big view?
Sure, I can.
The one where it shows the full grid.
There we go. I completely forgot about this view. I actually learned about it like a month ago, and I played this game for a long time. So I was like, how do people show all their champions? And then I figured it out, and I was like, oh, cool. That's why, yeah, when you don't watch other YouTubers, like, many people went heavy into the guides, such as Hell Hades, Stu Gaming, and such. So when you don't watch those, i.e. me, I don't really learn a lot of things, so I just take things as they go, and I ask my viewers, and thankfully a lot of my viewers is very helpful.
Well, you know what I say, it's all about having fun. As long as you're having fun doing it, then power to you,
Yeah, I was kind of bored of the game for a while, but I got back into it once I did a shard opening video recently where I got a couple of legendaries and 4 shards, and I was like, okay, sick. Now I'm kind of interested again. Actually, I got an Ethereal on a Lord Chazar. Lord Chazar in the 19th. Or I suppose I had 19 shards remaining. I got Lord Chazar, and then with 16 shards remaining, I got the Nethril. So that kind of sparked my interest. Yeah, I was told that Nethril could replace Frozen Banshee as a poisoner, as a damage dealer in the clan boss. Is that correct? Could I use him instead?
Yeah, for sure.
He kind of needs manual, though. His cooldowns just aren't good in clan boss. Well, he doesn't need it. He's just better with it.
Frozen Banshee's I think Frozen Banshee's actually a better option, but it's arguable. I don't know.
Frozen Banshee is cool. I just wish I got like a Dracomorph or someone insane like that, but gotta
join the club, my friend.
Or like a Valkyrie. Yeah. But okay, what about her? Is she has a good accuracy? Her speed is speed tuned. Her defense is great. Good. Her health is fine.
You're running an Unkillable team, so the defense isn't as important. She just needs to survive until the Unkillable starts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I suppose she's using it because of the accuracy.
Mm-hmm. Most likely. The accuracy's great, though, on that. You can probably even lose a good... I try to keep my champions about 250 or so. Napoleon, is that kind of where you go for, too?
Yeah. I mean, it depends on what they're doing. I think for her, you could be a little under 250.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, so now I've showed her, I've showed Skull Crusher, then we have an Aotar, which is, I would imagine, also speed tunes. Like, then again, good guy Glenn, the good guy, he helped build this champion, so I'm not fully sure. Again, I'm very knowledgeable, so. But yeah, this guy
what's the setup? It's Skull Crusher, Frosh card.
I can show you once more here in a moment. Let's just.
I think I missed that.
Yeah, do you see it here?
Yep.
Yeah, so it's a Skull Crusher, Roshard, Raisin, Scarhide, Aotar. Okay, so let's look at Aotar. Does he need a lot of accuracy by chance? I don't even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want his poison to land, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So. Yeah, 194 is not enough. Then I need at least a good amount more for him to do more.
And his defense is too low.
His defense is.
He's running an Unkillable team, so he actually doesn't.
Oh, my bad.
Okay, so his defense is fine then. Okay, phew. That's good. So yeah, I should just. I have farmed spider. I've taken out so many spiders lately, so yeah, I actually do have a banner I could replace, a 6-star banner, which would get him from 78 to 96, which could work. And
that will definitely make a big difference.
Yeah.
One of the things is you already have one poisoner in Frozen Banshee.
Yeah.
So it's not like you need Aethar to land all his poisons all the time, but him being able to do that will definitely help.
Yeah, because what my goal is to, I guess, deal around 35 million per key. Just my goal is to 2-key the boss. So whichever way I get there is kind of what I want to try and do. I'm not going to go for crazy records like 100 million.
What's happening currently? You're not currently 2-keyed?
From what our good guy Glenn told me is that I can 3-key Void, but I have issues with the other affinity bosses, with Spirit, Force, and then Magic. So I have issues with the other affinities, but with Void I should be able to 3-key. But yeah, so what I kind of want is to have the affinity of the boss not matter as much, and hopefully be able to 2-key. Even if it takes me 6 rounds of manual to initiate that, that's worth the sacrifice, so that I'm able to 2-key.
This is actually a pretty common thing. I've started doing some takeovers mostly so I can make a little bit of money doing this.
Of course, I don't take money for it. I should take money.
Yeah, I can't. I have to. It just takes too much freaking time not to. Honestly.
Yeah.
Like I've been working on one today actually since like 7 this morning, and I'm still a little flummoxed with it. It's a little bit frustrating to be honest. But one of the hard parts is the affinity bosses and trying to not only make a good team but deal with the affinity, because especially now that the clan boss you can hit it as long as possible. Most people are facing affinity bosses. And so you have to really try to adjust for that. I saw one potential solution, and I'm gonna have to lean on Napoleon to tell me how viable this is, because I'm not. Basically, I see 2 possible solutions, and I don't know exactly how viable this is. So I'm gonna ask Napoleon if he can help me out with this. But what it seems like to me might be I either see you cleansing the debuffs, or I see you preventing the debuffs.
I did use Masteries Mage a while, but he is not being used anymore. So
Mausoleum Mage is really good at preventing the debuffs, and he's good for increasing your crit rate, but he sucks for actually dealing damage. One champion I'd consider instead would maybe be a Sepulchre Sentinel, who can deal decent damage, not great, but decent damage, and block those debuffs. Plus, his increased defense will help a champion like Rosin do more.
Sepulchre Sentinel, who's that? Is that a rare or
farther up? It's a Void champion. You have her 60'd, I think. If you keep going up.
Let me see here.
On your left there with the red dot.
On the left with the her. Yeah, I see. Okay, yeah.
The other one I see that I think is maybe even a better choice is Bad Alcazar.
This guy is a good guy.
I would have to. I don't know if this would work, because affinity, especially the green boss, is always a challenge. But maybe Napoleon can help me. But my thinking is, if you can get Battle Khazar to going right before the clan boss, or right after the clan boss, before that, or after the second AOE, that maybe he can cleanse the speed slow before it affects your team too badly. But I'm not as familiar with his composition, so I don't know if that's a reasonable thing to do.
Yeah, you can do that.
That's how I use it.
So, how quick is right after the boss? Where would that fit in my team? Would that be the slowest champion I have, or because I don't know. 191 I think is the slowest.
Yeah, probably having him at like 189.
189,
would do it, but all the speeds are going to matter, so you're going to have to check the whole
gonna have to use some calculator. Where could I find that?
It's not just a matter of him going first. You also need, everybody's going to be slowed for 1 tick of the turn meter, so you have to make sure that everybody's speed is going to, when they get slowed just for 1 tick of the turn meter, they have to still kind of move at the same time. It has to not disrupt.
That's the challenge with it.
And it's possible. I was doing a setup like that for a while.
Okay, you did do a setup like that.
You did, yeah.
I
might have speeds are on Deadwood's website actually.
Yeah,
it was with Doom Priest rather than
if you go to Battle. Oh, right. So if you go to deadwoodjedi.com, you can see that's my website, and the calculator's on there. There's also a speed tune list with a bunch of different already confirmed speed tunes on there.
Yeah, speed
one
tune
of them
list,
is like
probably, or yeah, there we go.
Yep, under speed tune list. Yes, exactly.
I found it. Heck yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
4-3 speed ratio. What does that even mean? 3-2. Are we doing math?
Yeah. So, so basically, that's saying
That's all I
every.
do.
So a 4-3 ratio is every 3 turns a clan boss takes, your champion will take 4 turns. And that's essentially how. That's why your Skull Crusher is going so fast. That's why your tower is going so fast. What they're doing is essentially going on a 4-3 speed ratio. So they're taking four turns for every 3 turns the clan boss takes. Is essentially
4
what's
turns.
Okay,
so it's a 4 turn per 1 turn on the boss, essentially.
4 turn for every cycle, yeah.
For every cycle, yeah, I should say, yeah. Okay, I see.
Exactly. So the trick is you want to have, I think, yeah, I don't know what the exact composition would be to make this one work for you.
Someone talked about
but the idea is you'd want your cleanser to be going right after. I don't know if that's the easiest way to work this one for you. So what I would probably recommend is actually using Sepulchre Sentinel and just getting her up to speed. Yeah.
Okay. So if so she could, because she would be, doing block debuffs for 2 rounds and chance of blocking. Okay, so I would be using her, a Roshard's Skull Crusher, Frozen Banshee, and then I suppose she would be used instead of, instead of Aotar, it would be Sepulchre Sentinel, right?
That would be my recommendation, I believe. What do you think, Napoleon? Where would you go with this?
Something like this.
I don't know. I mean, it kind of depends on how the damage is on each affinity and what he wants to achieve. Loading up your team with a bunch of spirit champion or a bunch of force champions to do better on spirit is, ironically, sometimes that is the right thing, but it kind of depends on what his spirit damage currently looks like.
Nice.
Yeah, I for the life of me can't remember. Like it was, I actually did have a team, which a friend of mine built, which did around 27 to 28 million, regardless of affinity. But then I went and got it ruined because I wanted to try and 2-key it. So, and now it's ruined. Now it's a 3-key team, and it only works against Void, I think, for the most part. So. Yeah, gotta somehow make it better.
More affinity friendly?
More affinity friendly.
You don't have a Seeker in the vault, do you?
I actually am not sure. I don't think I ever got a Seeker. Let me see here.
So cool to see Seeker in the top damage.
I saw the 2 Rosh cards and I can't resist asking about the Seeker.
Yeah, I don't think I have a Seeker, unfortunately.
I would have never imagined that.
A couple of rush shards, should get a 3rd one.
Oh well.
I was about to feed one of them. Luckily, I was smart enough not to do it.
I think 2 is enough.
I actually was stupid and fed a Ghostborn to skill this Ghostborn. That was a bad day for me.
John, for spirit affinity, you can use as a cleanser.
You cut off there. Can you say it again?
For the spirit affinity with the Rosh card, Unkillable. I have a guy virtual in my cluster, in my clan actually, and he specialized in Rosh card. He knows everything about it.
I may have to talk to him.
Yeah, I can hook you up. Yes.
Yes.
So for the spirit affinity, use Doom Priest. Her passive will cleanse the
Doom Priest.
speed down. Yeah, Doom Priest for spirit affinity.
Yeah, let me see. I have a Doom Priest? I haven't.
You do. I saw you scrolling down. I saw a Doom Priest there.
Yeah, Doom Priest definitely can work. It's not gonna optimize the damage, but it'll definitely work.
No, but as for the cleanser, and she's gonna avoid the issue with the speed being thrown off. Because if it does, the Unkillable goes
there.
down before. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I found her.
So
Yeah.
Her
I guess I gotta run. It's dinner time in the Camembert household.
Okay, have a nice meal. Yeah.
Napoleon, thanks for coming on, man. This was fun.
Yeah, take it easy, guys.
Thank you, Diaz.
All right.
So what's happening here, guys? What you're doing, John's team?
We're looking at it right now. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting help from a lot of experts here. So I'm just a little first grader here, and we have a lot of high school people helping with math or something. I don't know what I'm talking about. I've had alcohol. So.
John, I'm gonna message you later.
So that would put me still in kindergarten, huh?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Incredible, John. I think we're kind of hitting the end point of this. One of the things I'm gonna leave you with, though, just like general advice on how to do this. Whenever you're using an Unkillable team, what basically is happening is you're having two champions go at a 4-3 ratio. So you're having, because Tower has a 4-turn cooldown and you need him to use it every 3 turns, you're having him go a little bit faster. Because you have Skull Crusher and he's taking a stun that makes his ability a 4-turn cooldown as well, you're having him go faster so that he can use it every 3 turns. So that's the essentially what's going on. You need to have Tower go last so that his block damage buff lasts for both AoEs on everybody. That's really important. And you need Skull Crusher to take his double turn before the stun, so that when the block damage goes off, it's okay, but then he can put up his ability and stay unkillable for that as well. So those are the two things that have to happen. Everything else in between is really fungible. You're just trying to put your 3 best damage dealers in there. Now, when you're trying to obviously trying to prevent a stun or trying to cleanse it, that can take a little bit of finagling and maneuvering within that. And then if you try to add another champion with a 4-turn cooldown for an important skill, obviously you'll have to adjust the speeds to account for that as well. But basically, when you go on my website and you're looking how do I make this a little better, you can look at all those 4-3 ratio compositions.
Yeah.
And those work for Unkillable teams because that's the essence of it. You want 2 champions moving at a 4-3 ratio, and you just want both of them going last on the turns that they have their double turns, so that their abilities are as strong as possible and last as long as possible. So that's like the bare bones minimum of it.
Yeah, because essentially once you have gotten yourself to Unkillable combination, then it's all about how much just building up damage, essentially, as you say.
Exactly. And you have a great team for it. You have Tower, which is awesome. You've got Skull Crusher, which is awesome. All you just need are then the champions to make the damage work. And you have Poisoners, you have Cleansers, you have debuff blockers. So for you being able to find this, I think it's going to be it's a very reasonable thing for you to be able to do. And I think it's going to be really successful when you do.
Yeah, I hope so. Because I want those rewards.
For sure, my friend, for sure. Yeah, you have a really good squad. Just looking at it, I know you say you don't have a crazy account. You have a really good account.
Yeah, this is what I'm most proud of. My Trunda. I really am. I like her.
I love Trunda. Trunda's my favorite. It's so funny. I just started gearing mine up for Arena, and it is so much fun. So much fun.
She's tick.
Do you like her? Do you like her? I'm showing her now. Yeah.
Best arena champ out there, man, as an attacker.
Yeah, she's awesome.
That's what my buddies from the islands used to say.
She's tick.
Yeah, she's tick.
She's not tick. She's tick.
Yeah. Well, hey, I think we're gonna end it here. I want to thank obviously Incredible John, Napoleon, everybody else for coming out here. Cold Brew for making an all too brief appearance that we would have loved to have had him on a little bit longer. I'm trying to recall everybody else that was here. A bunch of people have kind of jumped in and pieced out. Scratch, I didn't notice you were here, man. Good to see you, brother.
Hi there, Scratch. You have a very cool account.
Thank you. Been working on it for a while, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good video.
Next time we'll schedule this so that everybody can be here maybe a little bit better for us.
For me,
we'll try and make it a little bit earlier. Absolutely. It's hard when everybody around the world is participating, trying to get the right time for everybody.
Yeah, the time we typically have the podcasts of the Saffron Man, we typically have them at, I guess that would be 4 p.m. my time. That would be that would be around 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. PST, something like that, or even earlier. I don't know. So it's very difficult to time it.
There's a UTC clock up top in the channels list. If you guys ever need to coordinate.
That's a good plan. That's a good plan. Thank you, Thag. Well, thanks to everybody for coming out, and hopefully this was a lot of fun. I look forward to doing this. Maybe we'll do this again in a week or two here. This was really neat. That's it. Thanks, guys. Hey, incredible too. Next time, maybe we could do a thing where I'll help you with your clan boss team. You can help me with my arena team.
Sure, I love arena. I can help it. I'll hook you up. Don't worry.
Awesome. All right, cool. Let's make sure to link up and get together at some point here in the next few weeks. And
sure, I'll send you a request. I can actually do that right now. I mean, why not?
All right,
there
awesome.
We go.
In camp, so fun, guys.
Yeah,
there we
absolutely,
go.
Absolutely.
Sick. Yeah, I can help you with arena. You can help me with clan boss, and I think you'll end up in high platinum, and I'll end up doing 100 million. Sounds good.
I like this idea. I like this plan. Absolutely. All right, cool. Well, guys, I gotta peace out. I got another meeting I gotta get to here in a little bit, and
I also soon with my bed. I got a meeting.
I got like 15 Discord messages I gotta answer now too.
Oh dang!
It's pretty typical right now. All right, guys. Thanks so much.
Take care,
Talk
guys.
to you later.
Yeah, I'll see you.
Good night.
All right, bye.
So, guys, what up? Oh, Tag is live. What are you doing? You're doing clan boss, you can see.
Yeah, clan boss.
Yeah.
My Unkillable comp. I just built it. This one is slow man intercomp, double man intercomp. It works quite good.
Yeah, let me see here. I could probably. Nah, it's fine. I'm streaming myself, so it would be kind of weird to look at on other stream. I don't know. But yeah, you have a good evening or day or whatever. It's kind of late here, so I think I'm way on soon as well. So I'll talk to you guys later. See you. Yeah, okay, sick. How did my stream go? I just put the happy face there. So, oh yeah, I should probably end the recording also. Thanks for watching, recording.